Hey Internet family, hope you guys are doing well. I am sneezy today. Oh, I feel another one coming on. I am right sneezy today. Does anyone else experience allergies for the first time ever this year? My whole life I've never had allergies and I never understood, and now I'm like, I get it. So I just wanted to come on here for a second because I'm having a little outside time with Lily and talk about zooming out, taking the zoomed out view of what's happening in the world right now, because for the past couple years we had fires, right? And fires attack trees and forests, which our deforestation had done for a while, and the natural disasters. And some of those fires weren't natural, some of them were, and they burn up a lot of our lungs, right? The lungs of the planet. And then we have the coronavirus, which messes with the lungs. And then we have George Floyd and all the protests. And there are thousands of people laying on the ground chanting, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. All those things are not logically related, but I think it's a perfect example of how you can take the micro and macro view. And I think it's important for us all to keep our eyes open and to say, I can breathe, I can breathe, I can breathe, which I have seen some people say, just from a manifestation standpoint. Those who can't breathe anymore, we breathe for them. Those who've been taken from us, we live for them. We do the good things for them. Let's see, what are you guys saying? Hey, Healing Pro, thanks. Sending peace and love. Thanks, Adia. Connor, thanks. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just allergy for the first time in my life. I've lived through almost 4 decades, and I've never had allergies like this in my whole life, which I think is just my way of internalizing and processing, reflecting what's going on. So yeah, I would definitely encourage you to think outside the box, to get out from under any brainwashing or mental slavery that's gone on in you. We've all got it. We have all had it. So question everything. Hey, shiny disco ball. Question everything. Definitely question the news you hear. And I cannot stress enough to check into nature and see what's going on there, because the human drama is only one little piece of what's happening on this planet, and it's easy to get sucked into it and addicted to it, but it's not the whole thing. It's not all just about the human story. Earth is a huge planet, and humans are a piece of her. Apothecary Fairy says, for the past 2 weeks, I have felt completely frozen, totally lost, and so overwhelmed. Any advice you may have to share with me? Absolutely. You're talking about some burnout. You're getting burnt out. I was burnt out last weekend. I would say take some time out of your schedule and rest. Rest until after you want to stop resting. So rest like an extra day. So if you can block out like 2 to 3 days, oh my gosh, my nose is so itchy today. I don't know how you people with allergies do this. If you block out a couple days, I would say 3 days is coming to mind for you. I don't know what your schedule is like. I don't know what your working situation is like. I don't know what the quarantine level is like in your place of living at this point. But I think, for me at least, if I force myself to do nothing, because I was actually just talking to the guild about this, the Healers Guild, because this week is all about integration. Integration is not the same as free time. And integration is one of those things that our culture really does not understand. Our workaholic, undersleeping, not eating correctly, not hydrating correctly culture does not understand sustainable wellness very well. So you can't expect the systems to support that in you, because they weren't built with that in mind. Not necessarily for nefarious reasons, just because they didn't understand it. They didn't know it was a thing. We're refining the human experience as we go, and making the world such that our spirits more like to live in the bodies. So yes, Apothecary Fairy, absolutely try 3 days off, go offline, don't watch anything. I know that you are an activist. I know that you are I can personally tell, because I know you and I see all the things you put out. This is not putting your head in the sand. Your head's not in the sand. You individually, and whoever else needs to hear this right now, as long as you're not putting your head in the sand, not avoiding it, but it's important to rest so that then when your energy is needed, it'll be available. So rest, rest, rest. Read books that inspire you. Take a break from the cray-cray so that then you can come back and help. Because if we just have a world full of burnt out activists, then that's not going to help anybody, you know? So yeah, take a break. The summer solstice is Saturday. So I would say maybe even merge your break with that. Yeah, I'm thinking about some good magic that we can do for that. And I'll be giving you guys a meditation for that soon. Lexi. Love that hoodie. Thank you for the reminder to keep a broad perspective, almost like a bird's eye view, to have a fully embodied awareness. Thank you. Thank you, Lexi. Yeah, I love this hoodie too, my angel hoodie. Yeah, it's important. And I'm not talking about spiritual bypassing, but I'm talking about having a clear view, because in the end, when you look back, stuff always makes more sense. And even like I just said, the fires, then the corona, then the I can't breathe. It's all the same. We are cells in the body of Gaia, of the consciousness of Earth. Earth is not just a rock floating in the sky. She's a being. She's a life. She is an entity. And animals are a part of her, and the natural systems are a part of her, and we are parts of her. And so, as you'll see in the meditation that I'm making for the solstice, when we open up and remember that we are parts of her and ask for wisdom to come through about what we individually can do to assist, really amazing things can happen. Thanks, Jamie. Thanks, Adia. Tales of the Heart. Cool. Shiny disco ball. Very emotional, crying for no reason. Yeah, you might be. Who knows what you're feeling, you know? Who knows what you're transmuting through you? You know, when I was first learning what being an empath was and refining that, it's been a very many year process for me. You know, I did not come out the gate knowing this stuff. I was definitely had no idea what was happening. And years of experiences and years of verification and lots of synchronicity have taught me, and also study and practice, experiments, have taught me how to navigate. Example is when I lived in Orlando one day, I just had this feeling come over me. And from a lifetime of being empathic and intuitive, I knew that when I had this feeling, this horrible feeling, like I wanted to cry for no reason, to call all my family and friends, everyone important to me, because it's like, what's wrong? Who's in trouble? Let me see. So I called everybody up. Everyone was okay. But I still had this feeling of like, something is wrong, something is wrong, something is awful, something is wrong. This foreboding, mourning feeling. And about an hour later, I found out that there had been a school shooting about a mile down the street from me. And that explained what I was feeling. This was like in 2007 or something. I think 2006 or 2007. So it can definitely happen like that. Don't question your emotions, just let them come through. And the whole point is to remember who you are. That same gem inside of you that you were when you were born, that you were when you were 3, that you were when you were 5, when you were 7, when you were 10, when you were 15, that you are now, that you'll be when you're 70 years old. That same piece is who you really are. You can hear it inside. And so as a healer, it's important that you be able to see what is yours, and you be able to feel what is not yours, what is the collective, what is the earth, what is the nature, what is your city, there are thought forms flying all around, especially in highly populated areas. So it's important to be able to feel the difference, and then if you are called to help, then you can start like combing out the energy. If you're an energy worker, you'll know what I'm talking about. Everyone does it differently, but what I've been seeing lately, especially here in LA, is almost like a bunch of tangles, and you're like combing them out and detangling them and combing them out and making them sleek and smooth and healed. Ashley, are we more or less spiritual during menstruation? The way you define spiritual, I would want to know what you mean. I know that menstruation often opens up your intuition. And so you're more intuitive, but spiritual to me means practices that you do and ways you choose to cultivate your inner spirituality. But definitely menstruation is a time where your intuition is up and your sensitivity is up, so you can feel stuff that you can't always feel. Ugh, gosh, I'm so snotty. Allergies, how do you guys do this? Okay, shiny disco ball. I've also been feeling no energy and very emotional and sad, crying for no reason. Yeah, let it through. You're processing stuff for the collective. And it's funny, because I was about to say this is a dark time that we're in. But I don't believe that actually to be true. What seems like a dark time is no different than what has been going on. It's just what's been going on getting lifted into the light. Because, yeah, I'm sure you guys have seen the statistics of how many Black people are on boards, are on high committees, are in CEO positions. It's always been there. Even think about TV shows. How many truly well-represented mixed casts do you see? How many merging of different cultures do you actually see in entertainment? Not that many, and it's still kind of controversial when there's too much mixing. This is something that we're lifting out of our consciousness. So who knows why you're actually crying? It might be something you don't figure out. I've had certain very intense experiences with the spirit world not make sense for 10 years before. And then 10 years later, there'd be this huge epic experience. And I was like, that explains the whole thing. So don't question it. Just do what you got to do to keep yourself shining and rest when you need to. That's often so hard to remember. But I know that for me, when I'm tired, especially when you're tired, it's usually because you haven't been able to rest. So maybe you won't be able to and you have to kind of put your foot down. But then after I'm rested, I remember, oh yeah, I'm usually a fountain of ideas when I feel like burnt out or tired or kind of like a dry desert inside. And then I just sleep for a while. I just go offline and refill my cup back up. And then, oh yeah, there's all the stuff that I've had on the backlog to come out. And there are all these projects that I put on pause. And there's all this stuff that I'm doing. And I want to do it again. And it's important to remember that you're creating your life because you want to live it. You're choosing to live it. So if it starts to feel like a burden, you need to take a rest, and then maybe you need to change something. But first you need to rest, because maybe you don't need to change anything. Maybe you just need to rest, and then you'll have the grounding to get back to what is truly your choice. I'm glad that helped, Apothecary Fairy. Baby Goyle, this came at a perfect time. Do these perfect things come from fractal consciousness? How do we know that the earth fills our holes and needs through others? What has confirmed that for you? Life, and not that every hole or need gets fulfilled, because sometimes it's a long journey. But also, we are part of earth. We so often think of earth as something other than us, but we live inside her. We live inside the atmosphere. We are part of her. So she can feel us. Because much like mycelium makes it so that one tree on one side of the forest can talk to another tree on the other side of the forest through the fungus at their roots, the earth can feel us. We are electromagnetic beings, electrical beings. So our information goes far. That's also how the power of meditation works, group meditation, group prayer. We do speak to each other. We do speak to the earth. And what has confirmed this for me is just years and years and years of experience of it. It's one of those things, I don't argue my points anymore about that kind of thing, because I find that you can make all the logical points in the world, you can cite all the resources in the world, but if someone hasn't had the experience themselves, they'll just cite resources right back at you. Even biblical scriptures. I could give you Bible scriptures about something that other people can give you other Bible scriptures against. So it all comes back to your own experience. And if it's not time for you to experience something, you won't. But if it is time, you will. And nobody can convince you that it's not true. Tales of the Heart, I'm empathing Earth right now. Well, I hope that you're enjoying it, because Earth, the nature grid that I've seen, is very happy right now. It's the human story that's being weird at the moment, from what I've understood. From what nature tells me, is she's actually healing as the human mental illness is being worked on. Indigo. OMG, I've been saying the same thing. We're all cells of a larger earth body. Yeah, a lot of people say that, and I do too. I've heard a lot of people say it, and I've thought it for a long time too. Baby Goyle. By that I mean I was dealing with massive burnout today and have been, but you're teaching me that a few days needed to recover is normal, despite getting sad that after a day I'm not rejuvenated. Yeah, give yourself more time. This arbitrary system of hours and value of how many hours means something is just what I said, arbitrary. All the systems that are currently set up, and this is also what I'm talking about getting the brainwashing out of your head. We've been raised in systems that may not be true for us. The way that things work around us may not be true for us. The job that I have right now did not exist when I was a little kid. Someone just got in touch with me the other day asking how to, make a life's work out of their intuitive guidance. And it's interesting because from the that's what I do. But from the outside in, it probably looks like a pretty even progression over the course of my life. But from the inside, it has not been logical. It has not been easy. I've had lots of deaths and rebirths, and I think we all do. It's part of what this is. And as we're coming into a new world, we have to find a new way to do stuff. We have to find an appropriate way to do stuff. So, for instance, the thing that I love is spirituality, spiritual connection without religious superstition. I believe that we each have God within us. And if we want to come and interact on that level, we can, and we can hone certain pieces of it and that kind of stuff. And we can devote our life to different aspects. But it's all in here. Yeah. Shiny Disco Ball. Oh, thank you so much for the love. I really appreciate that. Since 2013, huh? That's 7 years. It's a long time. I just realized today that I've been teaching internet classes for 10 years now. It's interesting to mark these times, you know. All right. Shiny Disco Ball, thank you. Adia, it seems to be a time of renewal, unity, and insight. I agree. I think that realizing how bad it is that none of us realized how deep it went is how we heal it. You have to see where the wound is before you can heal it. So right now we're seeing where the wound is, and we're coming up to heal it. And so hopefully in the coming months, years, we are walking through the doorway to a new world together. Ashley, are you open to taking anti-allergy meds, or do you let your body go through allergy season? Well, this is the first time I've experienced it, and it's not an all-the-time thing. I'm not even sure what it is, because when I go out on my run every day, I don't sneeze. It's only certain times, and it's definitely worse if I'm aggravated. I'm not particularly aggravated today, maybe a little, but I don't understand it. My mom takes anti-allergy meds, and I get why people would want to. It sucks to feel this way. I'm all foggy in my head. My body doesn't feel right. I keep sneezing. I keep having to blow my nose. My nose itches like a mother. It is very uncomfortable. So I think it just depends on what you want to do, you know, and on where you stand on the natural spectrum. Some people don't like to take anything. I feel like each situation is unique. I haven't taken anti-allergy meds. I've found that tapping helps a lot, the EFT tapping, which I will probably do more of when I get off this live with you guys. So I don't think I will, but if I felt like this all day, every day, I would definitely be hitting it harder than I am. But I am eating local honey, which seems to help, local raw honey, because it introduces your body to the local pollens in a way that they can understand. Then you can make antibodies, and they know not to be scared. I do find that when I use more of that, it helps. All right, ooh, Shiny Disco Ball, you got chills all over. That's cool. All right, Adia, there's a lot of energy flowing out right now, and some of it is overwhelming, but it can be transformed into a positive energy. That's the goal, eventually. But it's important not to spiritual bypass by it, especially if you're not one of the at-risk populations during the current conversation. It's important to leave space within yourself to not be in denial about what's going on, so that you can actually be someone who helps create a better space for the coming generations and heal what's currently going on. That London, Miami girl, I love that you bring such honesty to all to share your sensitive issues. Thank you. Well, you know, I have to, because I have to be honest. Integrity is really, really, really important to me. It's one of my cornerstones of my life. So that's why. But thank you. I appreciate that. Noodle, thanks for the love. Taylor, visualize, thanks, yes, rest. Any more information on the mass meditation on the 4th? Yeah, well, it's happening on the 4th. I'm going to be releasing a guided meditation for you to do, and it's going to be based here in LA, but it's also going to be online, so you can do it wherever you want. I encourage people, depending on your social distancing guidelines where you are, to meet if you want, to meet outside if you want. Everyone can download it on their phone and then listen to it at the same time. I haven't decided the exact time, but also since energy is non-local, as long as you do it at some point, it will, because part of it is going to be the connecting to us. So it's going to be specifically for peace for humanity, health for the earth. And then this Saturday is going to be kind of a trial run, but also a more zoomed out perspective just for planetary honoring and healing on Mother Earth, because this Saturday is the solstice. So it's a very powerful day to do earth magic, to do healing magic, to do natural magic. So we're going to kind of do a little pre-run to see how that feels, and I'll let you guys know when the video is ready to download. The audio is ready to download, and I'll also post a video version here on Instagram Live and also on YouTube. Or I might put this video up, I'm not sure. We'll see if Insta lets me download it. It doesn't always. Lately it hasn't been. Okay, what else? Tales of the Heart. I love to lay back and nap and sing the song about my life. This mantra is coming to me today. I'll go back inside. It's not too late. There's a room inside my dreams with good acoustics. Nice. Hi, Jarika. Have I read the Nag Hammadi texts? Yes, I have some of them. Thanks, Roz. Radiant Dawn Life. Could you do a video on how to feel into the efforts of specific people who want to aerial spray to block the sun, trying to figure out how to work through their fields and what to visualize or to adapt? I would advise, and what I do is work with the sylphs, the air fae, live up in the sky. Science is learning that there are creatures that live in the stratospheres around the earth, and mystics have known that for a long time. Because it's not just us in a vacuum. Earth is a living being and she does heal. And also I would stay wary of any belief system that makes you feel disempowered, because each human has so much power inside of us. So anything that makes you feel like, oh, they're just going to kill us all, or oh, this place is crap, or oh, blah, blah, that kind of vibe, there's a lie in there. So I don't know what specifically it is, because there are a bunch of different things that can make you feel like that, but be careful. Ashley, try reacting, but if you want to stick it out, try saltwater irrigation for the nose. Be well. Oh yeah, and I do pot every morning. Baby Goyle, is telepathy real? Yes. Do we send information to each other by just being around each other? Yes. Yes. And some people, like anything, some people are more and less sensitive to that kind of thing. And also, if you want to become more sensitive to it and also be able to protect yourself better, it's good to do things like decalcify your pineal gland, move the lymph around your body, do yoga. You can do Kundalini yoga and crack yourself up open pretty quick. Juice fasts. Meditation every day is a must. If you want to be more spiritually aware and you don't meditate every day, start meditating every day. Every day. Even if it's just 2 minutes, it feels like such a small thing, but it is a huge, huge life quality difference. Thank you, Radiant Dawn Life, for the love. Hi, everybody. Yeah, meet with the sylphs. S-Y-L-P-H is a sylph. Add S to the end to make it plural. Sylphs. S-Y-L-P-H. Look them up. They're nature spirits in the sky. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you go so I can blow my nose more and chillax back here. Also, I'm opening enrollment today for the Relationship Manifestation Workshop Series, which I put on hold because of the craziness. So we're having it on July 11th now. And it's a three workshop series. The first one will be July 11th. The second one will be September 12th. And the final one will be on the 1010 Gateway, October 10th. So watch out for more news on that as I open enrollment. And enrollment for that is open, which means as many people as wants to can enroll for that. There's no cap on it. But the Relationship Upgrades course, which is 4 weeks long, starting July 6th, there are only 2 seats left for that. And it includes the workshop series. So you can just get the workshop series, or you can get the course, which includes the workshop series. The workshop series is going to be open enrollment, but if you want to sit in the course, get in touch with me, because I'm not opening that to everyone because there are only 2 spots left. All right. Thanks, guys. Sending you so much love. Sending you a Reiki pot. Let's see. Set the intention that you get whatever you need. Sending you cooling, soothing, healing, smoothing energies to reassure you that you're on the right path, to ask that synchronicity come and bless your steps, to ask you to be surrounded by angels, and that you be able to see, hear, feel, and speak truly. Bye. Have a great day.